Before we start today's Viking divination, I wanted to let you guys know, my Patreons, this week's Viking divination and Archangel Ascension, I'm going to be putting on my YouTube for a public view. This is because I want to give people a starter, if you will. I want people to have the ability to see if they feel connected to the Patreon and / or the YouTube memberships, because both my tier 1 and tier 2 memberships on YouTube and Patreon are the same exact thing. Tier 3 and up for both are where the differences are based off Patreon and YouTube memberships. So I have both options on both platforms in case some people don't want to migrate over to Patreon. They feel more called to stay just on the YouTube. I have two options. Now, if you're somebody that's wanting to be able to enter into one of my monthly giveaways for the video chat readings, that's specifically only on Patreon tier 3 and up. With that being said, welcome to the individuals here who are on YouTube who have decided to check this out and see if you're part of my Patreon and YouTube membership collectives. Every week, you guys are given one Viking divination video, which is basically all about masculine energy that's going to be entering you the next week, but also what they're guiding to give the world. We have then Archangel Ascension, which is the same concept except it's feminine energy. What feminine energy are they calling you to send to the world, and what is going to be received that next upcoming week, helping you be balanced. This is an energy forecast, a guide throughout the weeks to make them more structured, okay? This week's god and goddess that are going to be further adapting with you is the goddess Sati and the god Tyr, okay? Both of them are very much about balance, justice, order. Tyr is more about a state of somebody getting what they deserve, while as Shadi, she is more about seeing justice be given. Think about Tyr as the attorney, if you will, and Sadi as the judge. With them both being the center focus gods for this week, what I'm seeing is a balance, is a karmic return. A lot of you here may have been scared or worried about your rights in more ways than one. In personal life, but also what's going on with this world right now. What is going on within this world is out, go with me here. It's out of your control, but we have a domino effect when it comes to our sentientness. When one person decides to see their voice matters, there's a trickling effect. Okay. This week, you're going to receive a form of justice. Somebody, and I have to say it, but go with me here. Don't take it face value. I do keep seeing the word revenge over and over again, but this is not meaning, again, do not be scared. This is not meaning somebody is taking revenge to you, or the spirit's guiding you to do revenge to somebody. Far from it. It feels like a karmic returnance, okay? There are some people in your life who had no reason to want revenge from you, but did at some point in their life send you a malevolent will, okay? And I'm seeing those individuals have already returned that karmic energy. The type of person you are, because you're high vibrational, because you choose to truly be what you want to see in this world, you have a bubble of light when it comes to certain types of energy. When a person sends you malevolent will and you don't meet that frequency, it can't absorb through you. It can only bounce off. Think about water and oil. They can mix for a second, but then once it goes still, they separate completely. See, when you don't allow yourself to interact with certain individuals or habits or even mindsets, even activities, you don't even have the chance of mixing. Something has to stir. Something has to cause the friction for it to stir. You have developed so much healthier habits. And what I really feel that our God and Goddess is saying today is this shield of protection you are seeing something. You're seeing something like that. You're getting confirmation that somebody who sent you malevolent will returned their energy. This is not something you have to go out of your way for. And in fact, Spirit's very much wanting you to have this as an update, but once you hear it, let it go. The masculine energy that's going to be sent your way is a sense of clarity and seeing others stand up for you, as well as what I'm hearing. Some people have stood up for you. Interesting. And then we'll get to what Spirit's stating you're supposed to give this world in masculine energy, okay? So, let's get our 2 extra passages from our God and Goddess, okay? Shadi and Tyr. These are going to be their 2. Oh, looks like we got 2 cards from Tyr. So he's got, I think this is going to be 2 separate people for sure. Okay, let's start with Shadi. Right? Her extra message today is going to be from passage 11. Okay. A temporary pause or halt is a prudent stop and wait for a better time. Be silent and regroup. Understand that something may be frozen in place for a time. This is beneficial. Do not allow others to control you or your timeline. What Shadi is stating within this, you feel that there was a cleanse, a purge, an anger that rushed out of you probably last week. You didn't really know why, but it felt like that anger was putting your manifestations to a halt. Just like when we're sick, things have to purge. And I see somebody who held in so much anger for decades, to be quite frank. You're not perfect. You allow yourself to express. You're human, right? But some form of like deep suppression was awakened. Something about your energy felt safe to express. When you did this, some connections that you thought wouldn't have left, there was a shake. Okay? What Shadi is saying, the justice of return. You really know if people are meant to be in your life. Not when it's easy, not when you get along. When there's something you disagree on. When there's a hard moment you go through. When there's tension. That's when you see if this person, no matter if it's a friend, a family member, like a romantic love person, etc., is actually going to be there for you. If you really can overpower things together. There could have been 2 friends. 2 different categories. 2 different categories. So maybe 1 friend, 1 family member, 1 lover, 1 friend, 1 family member, 1 lover. You have to take what resonates still with these, even though they're very, very still centered in YouTube membership and Patreon collectives. They're not the collective like how vast it is with every other platform. But the YouTube membership collective and the Patreon collectives, you guys feel that extra sparkle, if you will, to join because it's something more intimate. This is the next step closest to receiving a personal reading from me, is being part of one of these sections. So, with that being said, all of you watching this are going to receive 2 individuals where there is a return of justice. This is high vibrational. Okay, both of you, both of the people, there was a shakiness. With both of the people, there was a shakiness. And you guys gave each other time to think. And I feel that both of these people were put in a position to defend you and be like, no, you don't fucking talk about them that way. No, you don't know the whole story. You know what? I'm human. Maybe I made a slight error. Maybe I misunderstood something. Maybe I let my fear, my anxiety get the best of me. But when I see the full picture, when I've given myself more time, it's not that it's not that one of us was right, one of us was wrong. Neither of us were right, neither of us were wrong. There are other forces that are affecting us. And when you have a safe space with somebody, sometimes we can accidentally, abuse it. Or, I guess the better word would be throw our energy on them. These two people are meant to be part of your life. They are. Our goddess has stated that they have earned the right to be in your life. When nobody was watching, she was. And she saw that coldness turn to warmth. These two people love you unconditionally, no matter what category they fall in. What I want you to do right now, it's going to be different for everybody. Some of you may not have a complete idea who these two people are, but some of you know exactly who these two people are. If you're an individual that does, I want you to put both of them in your head, look at them, and I want you to assign one of them card 1 and one of them card 2. If you're an individual here who doesn't, you're like, you know what, it could be a lot of different people for all I know. Just intuitively flow with this, okay? Now, if you need a pause to put 1, 2 a little bit longer, go ahead and pause here, but I'm going to continue forward. This is going to be card person 1. This is card person 2. So, what does our god Tyr have to tell you about person 1? So, he's done his research. He's talked to the goddess. Wait, we have number 4. Passage 4 is his message. Improve communication. Clear thinking and wise action are all of the great importance now. Do not deny what someone or something really is in favor of a kinder perspective. Find order in chaos. We have inherited both positive and negative aspects from our ancestors, and it's useful to know both. The universe is conspiring to open up new ways for you. Inhale, excel, everything is okay. This person, in your communication, you're going to have a great conversation this week. You're both going to understand, like, I didn't see fully the reason behind your words, the reason behind your actions, the reason behind your gestures. But you make me reflect, and you made me feel happy that I was able to set healthy boundaries and I wasn't thrown away. You see, this person put up a wall and took something personally you never meant. Or even just didn't like the way they had you see, we all make kind of like a picture of what we think somebody is to be in our life. And the more you get to know somebody, you start to see what parts of you were like, oh yeah, my intuition was correct, versus it's not that your intuition was incorrect, but this is a human and they cannot be exactly what I completely to a T thought they were, because I don't know this person's whole story. You are all good people in this reading. Okay? We had a very different story if this was somebody that truly had malevolent will, was out to get you, did not reflect. We'd have a totally different reading. Person 1 is encouraging. They're encouraging communication. I see this person bringing you, like the open door to really be able to honestly power through this and become even stronger and better of a team than you were before. A lot of you here, this is going to be the family member, or it's going to be the family member or the loved one that isn't blood. With that being said, what is Spirit encouraging for person number 2? All right, passage 19. That is Tyr's message about the next person. Take speedy action. Open yourself up to a powerful flow. It benefits us to work with the rhythms of the natural world. Equine-assisted therapy may be comfort to you. Eat seasonally available foods and notice the particular energies of each season. We are not our past. Equine, I don't think I said that correctly, but just so you know, equine-assisted therapy, or however I'm pronouncing it, if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, that's like horse therapy. You know, horses are one of the most fucking magical animals. The way their eyes look at you, they see you. People truly get nurtured and healed from the energy of horses. So if you have an area where you've been called to, like if you live somewhere where it's possible for you to go horseback riding, or even if you have a therapy center somewhere around you, look into that. It's actually even a good date idea, just to go like horseback riding and shit. I mean, honestly, it's a pretty fucking cool date idea. What I see with this card, so for most of you here, this is probably the romantic person. Again, most. For some of you, this could still, the second person could be the the family member or the friend that's basically family but isn't blood. You take what resonates. Overall, though, with this person, I see spirit, I see encouragement to go full force with this one. If you're waiting, this person, for a lot of you here, even if this is more about you feel like you went too fast and defended yourself to this person, it feels like there's a yin-yang. This person kind of went fast and defended themselves against you, and you went fast and made an assumption about this person. There was a tower moment for everybody involved. There were certain words you said that didn't go in and out this person's ears, but they didn't take the full fathom of seriousness until you had some time apart and they were able to think further and maybe even do more research. This person, spirit is stating to open up to. You know, this one's going to bring you the realization, but this one feels like the ball is in your court. And this person's already forgiven you. You've already forgiven them. It's another thing that made you stronger. You ask to know who's really there for you. And these are the moments how you find out. Okay. So, can we know what both of these people defended you about? We'll see. 2 more cards right here for each person. Person 1. Person 2. What do they defend you on? Person 1. Undermining confidence and deception in the masculine energy. Person 1, they were talking to somebody about you, and it was like, you know, maybe they were full fake. Maybe they pretended to be somebody they're not to you. Or just really went from positive talking to belittling you. And as they were talking to this person, the more they were hearing them talk about you, they were getting mad. They were like out of body experience almost, like looking inwards. Once they finally got it out of their head and they talked to somebody else about it and they thought about all of the other actions you guys have experienced together, how you actually reacted versus how the ego wanted them to think the reaction was happening. And hearing somebody else talk bad about you enraged them. And they like pulled back. They felt it. They pulled back their energy. They brought it back and they're like, no. You're not going to talk about them that way. This is the farthest person from deception. In fact, they were proud of me for setting healthy boundaries. They were proud of me for speaking up. But they also respect themselves. And this makes me trust them even more. Wow. And they probably most likely had a conversation about you with either a friend or a family member. Person 2, what did they defend? Loyalty. I think person 2 saw why you were... There was a sense of you felt that all of the love you've given them throughout your times of knowing each other. You've always been very strong for this person. Okay, there's not been many times that you needed them to comfort you or even need to prove their loyalty, to be quite frank. But some things have occurred, whether this is about what's going on in the world right now or something even more personal, like something that's going on with your family or it's just the overallness for this is still they saw how their actions could have been taken as unloyalty to you, even though that wasn't their intention. But it doesn't matter if it wasn't their intention. There was an ignorant bliss with this person. And you being in their life, they see the full store, not just... It's like the different... Wow, that's a cool example. Okay. What I see right now is like, you know when you go to the grocery store and you just go for what you need? And like, what I mean is, you know when you go to the grocery store and you don't look at anything except what's on your list. Like, you can't even remember what was next to the maple syrup that you were needing to get. It could have been oatmeal. It could have been protein bars. It wasn't important to you. You didn't need to look at it. Versus when you go into a store and you're kind of like in the mindset of, I'm here to go aisle by aisle. I know generally what I need, but I'm going to see if there's other things I need to pick up. You're going to remember things. I am then going to remember if it was oatmeal or protein next to the maple syrup. it feels like in your life, you've always had to be intensely aware of everything, right? And this person's had some form of privilege of ignorant bliss, however that resonates. And you being in their life, it's like they went from seeing that store in that way to, wow, there's all this stuff that was right in front of my face that I didn't notice. I don't even feel like this person defended towards a specific person to you. I think it was their own ego. I think they looked inwards and saw completely what you saw. These are two very beautiful people, my friend. These are two people that are part of your timeline. Okay. What is Spirit guiding you to do with your masculine energy this next upcoming week? All right. Big brother, big sister energy is definitely going to be at play, depending on how you identify. Protection, assistance, advancement, and persistence. Definitely have the strength to talk to both of these people. Definitely have the strength to look at your own ego. Do not be in hermit mode this week. A lot of foundation has been built. You have a stronger... There's a lot of things that are going to be transpiring this year. And I won't say good or bad. I'll just say high frequency, low frequency, because that's how it is. And whatever you just went through, it's like both... You all put like even more armor on each other. This next stage of life, we need us to not be each other's enemies. We need to bond more together now than ever in our existence. Your loved ones, your friends, your romantic partners, whoever you are, that truly have your back are not your enemy. They, and when I say they, I do mean in a political sense, the top 1%, etc. But also when I say they, I mean malevolent forces want you to think we are all enemies, because then they stay in power. Your masculine energy is to be a big brother, big sister this upcoming week. You're in a state of balance. Beautiful. Okay. Now, what are our 3 guided runes that Spirit's calling you to utilize and or you'll just see in patterns around you this next upcoming week? And you can draw these runes on... Excuse me. You could draw these runes as protection symbols outside your house. You can get decals and put them on your car, your windows. You can simply get even a necklace, wear it around with you. All right. Okay, well, we have the introduction card, because I never take out the introduction cards from tarot decks. I see them as their own card, as like a fresh start, a clean slate, or almost starting a new book. But I'm also feeling called to connect that to my rune I'm wearing, which is Othala. This is the family rune. Something I want to tell you guys about is, unfortunately, the Nazi party, all that stuff that's fucking going on, they've taken a lot of Celtic, and even more than Celtic symbols from a lot of other different religions and etc. Cultures, and made them their own. They took Othala. But here's the thing. I don't know how close you can see it. If it's not noticeable, I'll put like the symbol up here so you can see what I'm talking about. Othala is this almost diamond shape with the legs going down. This represents heritage. This represents family. This is about like protection to your bloodline. What the Nazis, all of that shit has done is they've taken this symbol, and instead of the legs being downwards, they put them upwards. And just so you're aware of what it looks like, I'll make sure to put that there for you. So you know that when you see that symbol and it looks different than this, it is not the same thing. This is one of the most powerful runes when it comes to protecting your bloodline. That is why you guys see me wear this always. Of course they would try to take one of these and make it their own. But they knew they could not do it completely the same. Because there are people who are within that are very spiritual and do understand karma and do understand certain things to not cross. They get just to the line, and then there's certain people that don't fucking care and go all. With that being said, I would call for you to gain your own protection from Othala. Now, the other two runes we have is Canute and Thurias. Alright? This is beautiful. There's been a lot about also Thor showing up in this reading as well. I've been seeing signs of him, and Thor is your big brother. Thor is somebody that when you need the protection, when you're feeling, I need a big brother to hold me, to tell me it's going to be okay, when you feel that sense of somebody lifting you up, it's Thor. He's got you. So you're going to be a big brother, a big sister, etc. to all these people? I got you. That's what we got for our Viking divination for this week. If you are one of the ones who are watching on the public video that I posted and you feel called to join this membership, I'm going to make sure to link both the Patreon and the YouTube membership right at the beginning of the bio. Normally I have it kind of down more in my bio section, but I'm going to put it right up here. Now we're going to dive into Archangel Ascension. I'll see you there. Let's get it.